what's up, guys? Jay Thorpe, Flexwork Fitness, and we got another one of my favorite books. This one, it's so crazy because I recommended this to like probably 8 people this week, and it's one of those books that it's not really a fitness book, but it can definitely apply. It actually, for sure, applies to fitness. It'll really apply to everything in your life. And this book is called Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. So I got exposed to this book when I was in an MLM, and they were trying to get people to read more, which I mean is a good habit to have, especially if you want success in any kind of business. That didn't work out, but I definitely kept the habits they had, which was reading and expanding on your mind. So this book, that's kind of how I got in touch with this one, and honestly, it changed my outlook on everything. There's very few books that I can say that really changed my life. I know I said about the last one, which was the David Goggins book, Can't Hurt Me. That changed my life. This one changed my life as well. So this one is really about the small, seemingly insignificant things we do that will actually lead to these grand results. And it's all about the compounding of these efforts, the compounding of the little choices and the little habits that we make. So the way this applies to business, well, actually, before I even get to that, let's talk about Darren Hardy, the author. So he started his first business at 18, and he actually talks about his father-in-law, how much his father influenced him. I want to say his father was like a football coach or something, so he was like pretty hard on the kid, but hard in a way that instilled good habits and good decisions and choices that he would make later in life. And so yeah, he's been an entrepreneur, and most of his books are on entrepreneurialism. This just happens to be one of the ones that really applies to everything. And yeah, and so he talks about his pitfalls, talks about his successes from implementing the compound effect. All right, so how this applies to fitness. I'll tell you how I experienced it, or how I've seen the results in life. So I'm 27. Yeah, not super old or whatever, but I'm at the age now where I'm starting to see how much differently people my age are aging and their appearance of how they've aged. So I'm somebody who works out all the time, eat pretty good for the most part, definitely eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, drink a lot of water. I do all the little boring stuff, and I do it a lot. Now, I've seen some people that I went to high school with, and one dude in particular looked like Grandfather Time. Like, he looked like he aged 1,000 years in the past 10 years that we've been in high school. And what he does, drinks, smokes pot all the time. Not that pot's horrible for you, but he smokes pot all the time, doesn't work out, doesn't move, he drinks. Every time that I go to the bar, which is very, very, very rare, but whenever I go to the bars around here, I see him at the bar. Like, he's somebody who will frequent multiple bars in a night. And it's shown. And the crazy thing is, because like if you're somebody who's around my age or even older, if you remember back when you were like 19, 21-ish, you would go to parties and you drink and stuff, and you see somebody, you're like, oh yeah, they drink a ton, but like you can't really see a difference so much at that point. It's more so later in life, and the compounding of those lifestyle factors is where you really start to see how people age a lot. And for example, one of my clients, she's 53, looks just as young as me. Like, honestly, like she looks like she's like 32 max. And it's because not only is she healthy now, but she's been healthy all those years before. She just kind of works with me because she kind of hit like a little bit of a sticking point. So yeah, and then a big thing with fitness that I see, and where this book would really benefit people, is a lot of people have what's called a microwave mentality, where they expect huge results now. They want the results now. They think that if they go crazy in a week, that they're going to see these grand results. And I tell people, I'm like, listen, if it took you 3 years to get overweight, it's not going to take you 3 days to lose all that weight. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta do the small and seemingly insignificant and boring choices to get to that grand result. Because really, I mean, for the most part, unless you find ways to make it fun, dieting can be really boring for people. And it's not even boring in like the fact that it's hard and like tedious. It's just some people like they will just eat like the same things all the time, and it's not really exciting. Like if you're not making different meals or finding ways to make it exciting, diet can be really boring. But doing those boring things all the time will lead to these grand results. So yeah, the microwave mentality is a big thing I see with people, and the compound effect will show you that if you really just kind of like stick in with it, and like instead of making huge radical lifestyle changes, make small changes that you can stick to consistently, you'll hit those crazy results. And one of the things that he uses as an example is he has somebody either choose, I want to say it's like $5 million, or take a penny and double it every day for a month. And like most people, when they look at that, they're like, yeah, well, I would take a penny. Yeah, I'm going to take $5 million. Like, you fucking crazy. Like, what? And then he shows you that by like day 15, like that penny is worth like $5,000, which you're like, wow. Like you start to think like, maybe I made a horrible decision. I should have took that $5 million. And then like the last 3 days of that month, that penny has grown to over like $10 million. So you've doubled the amount of money just from the compounding of that penny. And like crazy. I kind of blew my mind. I'm like, wow. I'm expecting like so much. And really I just got to do these small, seemingly insignificant things to get to that grand result. And again, like I said, I see this a lot with like people around my age. Like I'm starting to see like some people aren't looking too good and some people are looking phenomenal. And it's really because like their lifestyle, like they've been doing the same thing day in and day out. And whether they've made the good choice or the bad choice, the results are showing. So that kind of leads to the next thing. And then he'll talk about choices, where again, everything is going to be down to the choices that you make. It's going to be down to the choices you make day in and day out. Again, getting fit is not rocket science. I mean, some people try to drag it out to be. If you listen to kind of the advice your grandmother told you, like if you eat like that, you're probably eating very healthy, like where you're eating real foods, you're eating stuff that comes from the ground. Anything with eyeballs, like that's going to be your good protein sources. Anything that ever had eyeballs. Yeah, so like I said, it's just really down to making the right choice because, and one of my biggest people that I look up to is a dude named Lane Norton. He kind of comes off as a dick, but I mean, he's very smart. He's wrote a couple successful books, and he's not afraid to call people out when they give misinformation. And one of the things that he says is like, he's like, everybody knows on a fundamental level how to get rich. You make more than you spend. That's how you build wealth. Now, how many people are walking around driving Ferraris? It's down to the choices that they're making. And some people are also starting out in different positions in life. And yeah, so like dieting's the same way. I mean, or being fit is the same way. It's like you're making very easy choices. Mathematically, it's pretty easy to lose fat. Like, you got to eat less calories than you burn. Yeah, I must mix that up. So it's coming down to the choices. And then he tells you how you can create habits so that these choices, you don't have to really think about them all the time, because we are creatures of habit. Like, people are definitely creatures of habit. There's a lot of things we do that we don't even realize that is a habit, and it's something that's ingrained in us. Me, for example, I think I've said this before, but like, I eat every time I watch YouTube, and now every time that I watch YouTube, I get hungry. Like, it's stupid. It's just a habit that I've taken on. And then, yeah, so, and one thing that will help your choices and help your habits that he talks about is your outside influences. So we are products of our environments as well. If we're constantly seeing negativity by like watching the news and stuff, I'm not trying to get political, but if we're like watching the news, we're constantly seeing this negativity. If we're constantly watching murder mysteries, if we're constantly watching things like that, we're going to go to the mall and like in the back of our head, we're like, wow, somebody's going to freaking guillotine me right now. And it's because that is just what you're seeing all the time. So we are a product of our environments. So he tells you how to create environments to where your choices become pretty easy to make. And one of the big things is the people that we hang out with. Probably one of the hugest things is the people we hang out with. If you're hanging out with people who are always wanting to go to the bar, always wanting to turn up, even though in your heart you know that you don't really want to do that, or at least at the moment because you have some goals that you want to hit, it's going to be infinitely harder whenever you're going out with the boys. And like they're like, oh, we won't get you, or going out with the girls, whatever. Like, oh, we won't get you to drink, and then like 13 minutes later, you're at the bar, and they're like making you take shots with them, and then it puts you in a position because you don't want to seem like the Debbie Downer and not drink with them. You can tell I'm speaking from experience, and not drink with them, and like I said, it just makes it 1,000 times harder. But yeah. So this is Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Again, this is one of those books that changed my life. It'll apply to finance, it'll apply to fitness, it'll apply to career development, anything. It's about the small, seemingly insignificant choices we make that lead to the grand results. Hopefully that helped. I'm going to try to do some more book reviews. If you guys have any books that you think that I should read that I probably haven't, please comment them. Let me know. I am a huge reader. I read like 50 books a year, like not an exaggeration, probably more than that. But yeah, have a good one, guys.